Hi all, nice to speak to you again this week. I'm sure I don't need to tell you that the remaining COVID restrictions will not be lifting next Monday. It does feel a bit like we've got so close, so near to some sense of normality again, but yet we are still a little way off from all of those restrictions being lifted. And not just for this summer, but for what the future lies ahead as well. Listening to the scientists, we just don't know what's going to happen come the winter and where it may rear up again over the next few months or maybe even the next few years. I know that when we hear announcements like we heard last week, there is a sense of disappointment, to say the least, for so many of us. Just wanting just to feel that kind of that sense of freedom to be able to just do what we want, when we want, and how we want. And of course, we've had to do the things that we've been asked to do and instructed to do for very good reasons. So please don't hear me when I say how frustrating it's been and we just want things to change, because we recognise there has been a purpose to it. It does feel like so near but yet so far. Personally, it has been a trying and testing couple of months. When Elizabeth and I set the date originally for June the 19th to get married, we thought last summer, by then, it should be okay. It should be okay. But as the year progressed, as we were thinking about honeymoon, thinking about what's going to happen, all those kind of stuff, we realised that it might not be quite as we hoped. And of course, when they made the announcement back in March, we took the quick decision to move the wedding by 2 weeks on the 3rd of July in the hope that the restrictions would lift, of course, on the 21st. But again, knowing full well that that was kind of a hope rather than an expectation. So, we fully understand people's frustrations and, just trying to get our head around the guidance now. It's very confusing. Lots of different little bits of information that we have to take in, and but it's going to be well worth it. And we're really looking forward to spending the day celebrating with our friends and family in the ways that we're allowed, yes, but in the ways that also we've planned. So we're really pleased about that. But it does feel, doesn't it, so near but yet so far. And we come in these moments, and I'm doing this from home, and because we're still encouraged to work from home where we can. I recognise that for people, their lives have been disrupted for so long, and yet the hope is getting closer that we will return to some normality and that freedom. When we feel like we do at the moment, I encourage us to draw on the promise of God that He is with us. And at times like these, He is close to us. Often we can feel like God may be far away or distant, but the good news is that God is close at hand. We did a study about God is closer than you think in our home group, and I think the other home groups did the DVD as well at some point in the last couple of years, and it reminded us that God is closer than we often realise, or maybe even give time to work that out and experience. In Deuteronomy, we hear as Joshua is commissioned to take over from Moses, we hear these words over Joshua's life: be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you or forsake you. Now that word forsaken maybe is not a word that we would use kind of naturally in our conversations. I can't remember the last time it came up in a conversation or discussion that I've had, but it means to feel abandoned or deserted. God promises to Joshua that he doesn't have to go it alone, that every step of the way in his leadership, in this new position, in this scary and uncharted territory, God will be present. And right at the end of this time during this pandemic, we may feel tired and fatigued. In fact, I know we will do. But God is with us. His presence is with us every day. And for you, for me today, just know that God has forgotten you and he will never forsake you. May God bless you today.